Our next episode begins, and Jinwoo wakes up in the hospital with no injuries and all of his limbs still attached. Two officials from the Hunter Association stop by and tell Jinwoo it's been 3 days since the dungeon raid, and they found his body laying right outside gate. Joo-hee and Mr. Song both survive, but will be retiring as hunters after the trauma they went through. The officials are now curious how an E-rank hunter could have survived something so dangerous. In some rare instances, a hunter can go through a second awakening, where they gain some magical boosts and become a higher rank practically overnight. The officials use a mana meter to measure Jinwoo's power level, but no dice. Bro is at a measly power level of 10, while the average E-rank hunter is somewhere around 70. Oof. As soon as they leave, Jinwoo notices a screen floating in front of him that nobody else can see. He suddenly remembers that he agreed to become a player, and slowly comes to realize that his life has basically become an RPG. The system gives him a daily quest called Strength Training that consists of 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run. Is this system trying to make the guy go bald? The system warns Jinwoo that he will face a penalty if he fails to complete his daily mission, but Jinwoo is a bad gamer and completely ignores it. As soon as midnight hits, Jinwoo is teleported to a vast desert landscape and is attacked by an enormous centipede monster. The system tells him his new punishment mission is to survive for 4 hours. He manages to survive by just running for his life the entire time and gets teleported back to the hospital exhausted. The next day, Joo-hee comes to visit Jinwoo, and she is shocked to see him fully recovered and running laps around the hospital. At least he's learned his lesson. When he completes his daily quest, Jinwoo gets recovery items, skill points, and a random loot box. Jinwoo thinks back on how weak he has been in every raid up to now and start dumping all of his points into his strength stack. Going straight for the glass cannon build is an interesting choice. Inside the loot box is a key that will take Jinwoo to an instance dungeon. Basically, a new dungeon that exists only for Jinwoo to explore and loot. He teleports in and is immediately attacked by 3 goblins. He struggles to dodge their attacks, but is able to cut through them thanks to his increased strength. Before he can even catch his breath though, a giant wolf with a metal jaw lunges toward him, and Jinwoo starts to think he may be a little underleveled for his dungeon. You think? In the next episode, Jinwoo can barely hold his own against the wolf. Like I said before, Jinwoo is a bad gamer who didn't even check his skills or inventory before jumping into a dungeon. What a noob. He finally thinks of this mid-fight and equips a sword that he uses to take out multiple wolves. With that, Jinwoo hits level 2. Hey, everyone's gotta start somewhere. Jinwoo was then attacked by a whole pack of wolves, but he thinks that compared to the terror he felt with the killer statues, this is nothing. The more Jinwoo fights, the stronger he gets and the easier the wolf slaying gets. He defeats the last one and gets a teleportation stone he can use to leave the dungeon. But Jinwoo isn't about to leave when there's still experience to be farmed. Outside, Joo-hee is walking home when she gets a call from the Hunters Association. She is still dealing with the trauma from the double dungeon, but the association tells her they desperately need a healer for a dungeon break nearby. She thinks about how Jinwoo was already back to training after going through the same trauma as her, and she agrees to help. Jinwoo soon encounters the dungeon's boss, an enormous snake monster. Despite the overwhelming odds, Jinwoo refuses to back down and launches himself onto the snake's back. He grabs the beast's neck with his bare hands and starts to squeeze. Damn. Jinwoo is actually becoming a beast of his own. The monster is slain, and Jinwoo gets a bunch of experience plus a C-rank poison dagger. The dungeon disappears, and Jinwoo is teleported back to the real world. As soon as he's back, a soldier tells Jinwoo he needs to leave the area as there has been a dungeon break. He tells the soldiers that he is a hunter and asks where to go. When he reaches the gate, Jinwoo sees hunters fighting against a D-rank stone golem. Jinwoo sees that Joo-hee is among them and decides to help her out while testing his new strength. He hurls a broken sword at the golem and shatters the beast's defenses, allowing the other hunters to easily defeat it. Joo-hee catches a glimpse of Jinwoo walking away and wonders if he was responsible.